Ladies and gentlemen, welcome one, welcome all to Daytona International Speedway in Daytona Beach, Florida. As we are set here for season 27 of the Castrol GTX Cup Series, having inspiration of actually watching some of the preseason season thunder that Dylan Young does for his series. I thought, why not? Let's do one of our own and have a little preview video for season 27 of the series. First car rolls up onto the racetrack. By the way, here we will give you a little bit of a preview of what to expect for the season, and I should say, give you new cars, new faces, and some ways there, and the drivers that will be seen on the racetrack here this season. And also, we have a new schedule for the season too, so you might want to stay tuned as we'll explain all this to you during this video. First car on the racetrack right now is the car 03 Coca-Cola Vanilla Chevrolet of Charles Sanford. He's the first car on the racetrack here during this testing session here at Daytona. New look for this season here, and yes, that's another thing new we're talking about for this series also too. Yep, yours truly finally broke down and is doing custom cars this season. So you thought you'd never see this. Qual's doing customs for the Castrol GTX Cup Series, and of all the times I've rejected the customs and everything from everybody else, I thought, you know, why the heck not? It's been the going thing. Plus, second of all, I am sick and tired of my sign-up videos getting slower and slower each year. So I thought, you know, customs seems like the way to go in every offline series. Oh, why not do customs and yet keep the darn thing classic? My narrative of being old, of having old cars, I should say, too. Mod we're doing this season, by the way, is a SE Splash and Go 2003 to 2005 mod from Cosmo and his Gang Splash and Go graphics, which he did an excellent job on this mod, by the way, too. But anyway, Charles Sanford's the first car on the racetrack this here in this practice session here. He's, as we mentioned, the Coca-Cola Vanilla 03 machine. As you see, his first lap will have 188.87 miles per hour. As a lot of the cars have now gotten back on the racetrack right now here. Charles won a couple times last season. I think he won a couple times last season, I should say. But he, the man is season 15 champion of the series and also season 19 Daytona 500 champion in the series too. And hoping to be one of the contenders for the Cup this season too. And what's going to be a very competitive season, I should say too. Seeing all the drivers that's in this series by the way too. Up ahead of Charles Sanford is the new driver, the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet, the car he drove last season. This season driven by Tyler Deaver is going to be the driver this season. He's got two paint schemes on his number 24 DuPont Chevrolet. And but he's got this scheme, and he's also got the Pepsi paint scheme that he's going to be running at the Winston 500 at Talladega, and also the Pepsi 400. And when we come back here to Daytona for the night race here. And Tyler Deaver, in case you're wondering, by the way, Tyler Deaver is the brother of Cole Deaver. He's in his first season of this car, by the way, this season. We have never had a rookie in a series and driving the 24 car, except maybe possibly Ashley Sears, who drove this car to the Daytona 500 win and the championship in season 3 in this series too, by the way there. So Tyler Deaver driving the kind of a Jeff Gordon through the years paint scheme. He's got the flame scheme. He's got the flames, the blue, a little bit of a blue on it, the rainbow on the front, and everything else. Even down completed to the Firestorm scheme he had in 2009 and what have you. So Tyler Deaver is driving the new car to season 2. This one's not new, and this is not a new driver, obviously, neither. And of course, if you know a Bill Elliott scheme, you know who that is. That's Jessica Shelton. Car number 11, the Budweiser Forge. This is the 5-time series champion. As this scheme she's going to be driving this season. One of 2 schemes actually she's going to be driving this season. She does have the Bud Light paint scheme. It's a light blue, same color, same scheme pattern as you see on this Budweiser Ford, except it's light blue and it's got Bud Light on it here. And you'll see what I'm talking about though when she debuts that car. Whenever I know she's going to be running it in the Winston, but she's also going to be running it for a few races as well this season. So Shelton, you know, she might be right up there for the championship too. There, she missed out on the championship last season by just a few points to Quentin Moore. Speaking of Quentin Moore, here's one of his drivers right there behind Shelton. That's the number 91 Mopar scheme driven this season by Jordan Anderson. He's going to be driving this car this season. Um, one of the few Dodges we got in the field here. We got actually, I think, let me look at the manufacturer count. We got 6 Dodges in the field this season for the series here. Jordan Anderson is going to be one of them, driving the number 91 Team Mopar car and a very hot-looking paint scheme. Well, why am I commenting on my own paint schemes? Anyway, but Anderson driving this scheme here. We got a gaggle of cars right there in the draft here, going inside, and then in the bright yellow Pennzoil scheme this season. That's another Dodge. That is Mitchell Collins driving this car this season. Last season, you remember, he drove the number 70 Rumple Furniture Pontiac. Drove it to pretty good qualifying runs, but racing performance was kind of suspect for his team last season. He hopes with a new sponsor, and he hopes with a new car, and armed with major sponsorship, he's gonna be he'll be right in the thick of things for the points this season too. Right behind Mitchell Collins is Nicky Martinez, car number 42, one of the 8 rookies we're gonna have this season. Now Martinez is one of the drivers that was one of Angel Navarro's drivers this season. Who's formed a 2-car team this season. Martinez driving a number 42. I can't pronounce the name, Muskogee or whatever the flip that is. Pontiac. She's driving here, but she's a rookie this season in the series here and forming this 2-car team. Behind Nicky Martinez is another rookie, but no stranger to the NNSCRA. This is Angel Navarro himself driving this car. Driving a Z-Line Designs New York Rangers Pontiac, car number 44. Navarro, of course, a man who's been in the NNSCRA probably since the days of the Snickers Cup Series, I would imagine, but he's formed a very formidable operation without question too, and he'll be one of the tough guys to beat in this series too. Behind Angel Navarro is car number 4. That is William Brock driving the number 4 Chevrolet, not with the Kodak colors that you're used to seeing him in, but driving the scheme. Look and see what it's. Synovus Bank is what the sponsor of this car is too. Synovus Bank Chevrolet is what he's driving this season for his own team, William Brock Motorsports. And he won, I think he won a race last season. I'm not sure on that one too, but I think he did win a race last season. But Brock always a very strong contender without question. There's a look at some of the cars on pit road. And right behind, and the 5th car we mentioned, and I forgot to mention this pack here. Yep, you know who that car is. If you see number 99, Marvel Studios on it. It's Levi McIntyre, car number 99, the Marvel Studios Zeb Bellringer WWE SKF Chevrolet. Whew, hard to get all that out of one breath. And it's got some hot looking flames in this car, and also some hot looking flame designed wheels. That's what the orange is on the wheels in this car. It's flame designed wheels on this car. McIntyre, of course, with his own team, Thrash Maniac Rock and Wrestling Racing, and season 25 series champion, did it without winning a race, but he did win a race last season. However, that was at New Hampshire, and Levi looking to make some noise again in the championship battle this season too here with his team here. So we're looking at some more cars on the racetrack right here. There's 3 more right here. The number 18 FedEx Chevrolet. This is Nathan Hudson on his on back of the season. Hudson the winner this last season on the in the night race at Bristol last season. The FedEx Sailor Moon Chevrolet. The only driver I know that's a big fan of Sailor Moon, I think, pretty much. But Hudson currently 11th quickest in his test session, by the way, right now on his machine here, and he is looking to do well this season too. Right behind Nathan Hudson, and that is the black Goodwrench car, but it's not Cole Deaver driving. This is one of the 2 Goodwrench cars this season. Yes, you heard me right. I said 2 Goodwrench cars this season. Albeit not different teams. Albeit not the same team. But this Goodwrench number 88 car belongs to, well, formerly known as Kate Skirvin. She is Kate Anderson driving this machine. Kate Anderson, of course, you may remember from some of Dylan Young's NNSCRA T-Mobile series, where she drives a Dale Earnhardt car in that series, and here she's driving an Earnhardt paint scheme as well too. since obviously Cole Deaver's taking the number 3 car. Anderson, of course, a rookie in the Series 2, and she's one of 5 ladies in the field, by the way. One of which, by the way, is not taking part of the preseason Thunder 2, by the way. But nonetheless, so Kate making her first bid for making her first season for this championship this season in the Castrol GTX Cup Series, or maybe possibly go for it, I should say, too. Third car in this pack of cars right there, that is Taylor Gertis driving this machine. It's another rookie driving the Sheets Chevrolet here. One of 2 cars that Sheets sponsors on this machine here, too. Actually serves as the other one serves as an associate sponsor. And of course, you know who the other car is going to be, by the way, when it comes to Sheets. You know that, don't you? But anyway, Taylor Gertis, one of the drivers that Ty Dent has formed for his team. And except that Taylor Gertis is driving a Chevrolet, by the way, too. So and Ty's team drives Fords, and we'll talk more about his team in just a little bit. Here's the other Goodwrench car I'm talking about. Yes, this is Cole Deaver driving the number 3 GM Goodwrench Chevrolet. Now, why is this scheme so different, you ask? Well, this scheme, by the way, is the 1987 Wrangler base that's done up in GM Goodwrench colors, by the way. Yes, that's what you're hearing that right as well, too. Deaver, of course, season 21 series champion, did it in the color scheme that Kate Anderson's driving, I should say. But anyway, Deaver driving the GM Goodwrench Wrangler Chevrolet this season, and finished the last season number 4 in the points last season, and won a couple of races. So Cole Deaver looking to make some noise this season too, and maybe go for possibly a second championship. Right there behind, there's a couple former Daytona 500 winners. One of them won it last season. That green Quaker State number 5. That's Phil Parker driving the car. Parker last season won the Daytona 500, and this season, new sponsorship and but same manufacturer and number on his machine too, for the Ragin' Cajun from Louisiana. And right there in front of Phil Parker is the season 1 Castrol GTX Cup Series champion and 2-time Daytona 500 champion, Dylan Poteet, driving the number 22 Caterpillar Dodge, as one of the 6 Dodges in the field. And Dylan reunited with his number and sponsor, and of course the number, referring to his YouTube channel, Dylan Tay 22. And of course, as we mentioned many times before, Dylan, of course, the former owner of the NNSCRA, not really NNSCRA, but the man who ran the Mopar Nationwide Series and the Mountain Dew Racing Series, both of which I've had a privilege to be a part of, by the way, too. But Poteet looking strong, always a strong contender. Of course, in fact, snapped the long winless drought last season, when I think it's when it came at Darlington in the Southern 500 last season. So Poteet looking to win some more this season too here, possibly, in this very strong field. 2 more cars we haven't talked about right here in this pack of cars. We are talking about Charles Sanford in the 03 machine. And right there ahead of him in that white and blue number 16 Crowley Food Chevrolet, this is Johnny Gardner, the first ever Castrol GTX Cup Series winner. He did it in season 1 Daytona 500. Johnny Gardner, of course, last season drove the. I was trying to think what car he did drive last season. I forget which, but anyway, he won a few races. He's won a few races in the series before too. And the 16, by the way, is the number of one of his favorite drivers, Derek Kraus, driving the car. Johnny Gardner's one driving the car, not Derek Kraus himself. But anyway, Gardner right now is currently 9th quickest in this test session, by the way, too. And but he and his teammate Rob Evans, of course, their idea is obviously to try to form almost about like a K&N Series type of team too. And of course, Rob Evans' scheme will remind you of a K&N Series car, by the way, too, when we get to his car. Getting down below, Johnny Gardner as a slew of cars is now coming up behind this bunch to make it a pack. This is the number 43 car. Yep, you know who that is. That's Mike Becker, driving the number 43 STP Pontiac. There he is. As he joins, as he's in this pack of cars here, he's 30th quick currently right now. And this car, of course, and and this car, of course, painted exactly like the 1982 Richard Petty paint scheme, is what Becker's driving here this season. And you can bet he'll be up there too. Right there behind, car number 6, the Burger King Dodge, it is Zach Rogers driving this machine. Rogers, who last season has driven a slew of paint schemes since his comeback, which has been top 5 in points every year since then. So you know Rogers is going to be one of the big contenders for the championship this season. Had came close a couple times since his comeback, but Rogers, you can bet, will be a hot contender again. Right there behind him, in the Zest Soap Zest Soap Ford. Easy for me to say. Car number 17. This is Jesse Turner driving this machine too, and Turner, of course, another strong contender as well too. This is not the first time he's driven a Ford in this series, but he's in this pack of cars. In fact, almost all the cars in this series by this season are all new rides, so it's going to take me a while to get through about every single one of them that's in this bunch. Behind Jesse Turner, as one of the cars slows down and coming on pit road, that's the number 84 car, Cassie Dent, another rookie in this series, by the way, too. And we'll talk more about her in just a little bit. But anyway, the number 39 Napa Auto Parts car, this is Keith Batson driving this car, this season 24 series champion of the Castrol GTX Cup Series. The only thing he's yet to win is the Daytona 500, which he and a few of the top contenders has never won yet. But Batson, right there behind, he's 4th quickest right now. One of the cars at over 200 miles an hour in this session. But he's picked up a sponsorship from Napa Auto Parts, Napa Filters on his number 39 KB Enterprises Ford. And right behind Keith Batson is the familiar number 1 Sega Colors. This is welcome back to the series, Trent Dunham, the season 16 Castrol GTX Cup Series champion, and did it with only winning 1 race, and that was the finale at Homestead, Miami. He came close to doing that season winless too, much like McIntyre would eventually do in season 25. But anyway, Trent Dunham sporting the Sega Sonic the Hedgehog colors on his number 1 Sega Chevrolet, and the number 1 is Jamie McMurray style too, just the way he likes it. Here, the man from the state of Texas. Right there behind Trent Dunham is car number 14, Matt McIntyre, the Home Depot Mobile 1 Ford, driving this machine too. Matt McIntyre quickly become one of the big names in this series too, as won his share of races, including Talladega, Charlotte, and Darlington. He's won those races in this series too. So that's all the cars in this bunch we're going to talk about. We already talked about the number 4 car of William Brock that's in this pack of cars there. We're going to look and see who's topless right now in practice right now. Tops right now is, in fact, Matt McIntyre, 200.174 miles per hour. Jesse Turner, then Quentin Moore, Keith Batson, and Zach Rogers. Then right there behind is the number 4 car of William Brock, I mentioned in the 6th position. Then it's number 42, Nicky Martinez. Then Cassie Dent and Jordan Anderson. In fact, you're looking at Cassie Dent right now, as a matter of fact, the number 84 Harley Quinn Suicide Squad Ford, as she is now pulling back out on the racetrack right now. Now, her and Ty Dent are both driving driving Team Suicide Squad on their Fords there, but they're playing different characters, obviously. Ty Dent's car is number 76. You'll get a look at his car, I'm sure, here as the season goes on, as the pack of cars now goes by, some of which we'll talk about a little bit later. But this number 84 car of Cassie Dent is actually the wife of Ty Dent, driving the team owner of this machine. Cassie's car is the Suicide Squad Harley Quinn machine, is the character she's playing, obviously. And by the way, when I painted those cars, I should mention too, when I painted those cars, I had the idea of making their fire suits exactly like the characters. Well, that turned out okay, but not as good as I had hoped. So there's it. And like I should mention, the Suicide Squad team, well, pulling up behind Cassie is in fact Ty. Cassie's car is number 84. There is Ty's number 76, the Joker, the Suicide Squad Joker Ford on his machine. Ty making his comeback. He's not a rookie in the series, but Cassie, however, is. And so, interesting to see how those two, how the Joker or Harley, who comes out on top between Joker and Harley Quinn. So we'll see what happens there as this season goes on. Kind of a scary looking combination. I'll about darn guarantee you that. Right behind Ty Dent, or I should say, right behind Tyler Deaver in the number 24 machine, is that Jennifer Jo Cobb looking machine. It's Joshua Osborne this season driving the Jennifer Jo Cobb colors. It's the exact look of her 2015 truck that she drove on in the what's now the Gander Outdoors Truck Series. Joshua this season back with the Jennifer Jo Cobb colors, and of course you remember he drove a Jennifer Jo Cobb scheme to the season 2 championship. He did that as number 13. It was the red and black scheme she had drove, and it was a Ford at the time as well too. But Osborne right now currently 19th quick right now in this series as he moves in as he is getting freight train on the outside here, and the 3-time champion hoping for number 4 possibly this season. And here's a very potent combination 2 right here. This is Cole Baker driving car number 20, the Dollar General Chevrolet, as he's making his return to the Series 2. Baker currently now 21st quickest in this session, and behind him is car number 8 of Matt Haas driving the K1 Speed Pontiac this season here. That's a go-kart track, I believe, too, that he is sponsored by too for all the karting stars and what have you. So Matt Haas with a new number and new sponsorship on his Pontiac as well too. Leading this pack of cars, there's a few cars in this bunch we have not talked about yet right here. One of which is the president of the NNSCRA himself, the FRN Chevrolet, car number 25. This is Seth Cole driving this machine too. And I forget what FRN stands for. I honestly keep forgetting here. It's Flat Out Racing Network is what, and this is a new this is a new network that Seth Cole has been announcing races for regularly for NR 2003 here, and he has announced with some rather big names. With some rather big names too. So Seth, apparently they liked how Seth announces his race. I guarantee he announces a whole lot better than I do. I flat guarantee you that. But Seth Cole, with sponsoring armed with Flat Out Racing Network on his number 25 Chevrolet here. And I actually had the pleasure of doing a race with him at Talladega just not too long ago, as a matter of fact, too. We already talked about the cars of Mitchell Collins, Angel Navarro, and Jessica Shelton. And right there behind Mitchell Collins is car number 89, the defending series champion, Quentin Moore, racing for Jesus Boss Hog Barbecue Sauce Ford. Driving this season, new color scheme, new number. But if you know it's if you see a Morgan Shepherd monster on this car, you know it's Quentin Moore driving this machine here. Quentin looking for a possibly second championship in a row in this series. The driver is up in front of him. Jessica Shelton is the driver he beat for the championship, not by much though, in the finale at Homestead Miami Speedway. Which, by the way, schedule-wise, it's going to be earlier in the season this season as opposed to late in the year. Behind Quentin Moore is the number 897 car, Zach Winkle, the John Deere Ford. This is one of the cars that Keith Batson painted here. Very nice paint scheme on that number 97 John Deere Ford here. Zach Winkle making his return to the series. He's won in this series before too, by the way. But it's been quite a while ago. Another new paint scheme, and here the familiar numbers of Jimmy Johnson and a familiar manufacturer, Chevrolet, but not the blue low scheme that you might expect if it's number 48. Not the driver you might expect neither, too. This is Jay Jefferson driving the number 48 Pizza Hut Chevrolet this season. Jefferson has won a few races in the series too, and he hopes for more this season as well too. His biggest win obviously came in the Brickyard 400 just a couple of seasons ago in this series here. So we're looking to see who all we haven't talked about yet here as we're looking through. Right there behind and parked in behind the number 22 car of Dylan Poteet is car number 69, Kev Shearer. Yes, he finally gets to realize his dream of driving his favorite number in our offline series. But this scheme is going to be driving the Daytona 500, and of course a lot of races this season too. The Waste Management Chevrolet for Kev Shear this season at a Kev Shear Racing Tech, and of course not to mention armed with with associate sponsorship from Sheets this season. I should mention also too that Dylan Young's car's got Wawa on the car, so we'll definitely truly see Wawa versus Sheets this season between those two drivers. And one of the cars that's gone by, Kev Shear right there. Kev Shear's second car, by the way, is going to be armed with sponsorship from Liberty Mutual with the Lemu, Emu, and Doug special. And he'll be running that for a few races too, including the Winston All-Star race too, as a matter of fact. Well, do you recognize? Well, when you think of Kyle Matthews, you think of the manufacturer. You think of the sponsor, but not the number. Yeah, usually if it's Mellow Yellow and Pontiac when it comes to Kyle Matthews, you always think of the number 42. Well, this season Nicky Martinez has got that number, but that was after Matthews thought up with this number here, and PO'd a certain driver, I will say too, that wanted that number. But this is the number 9 Mellow Yellow. Mellow Yellow, Benford Tools, Tool Time, Cincinnati Red Pontiac of Kyle Matthews driving this machine. Matthews, as we mentioned, former series champion and former 3-time series champion, I should say, and former Daytona 500 winner twice. And not to mention a proud American Buckeye from the state of Ohio, as well too. And Matthews always tough in the series too. He had kind of a subpar season last season. He unfortunately went last season without a win in this series too. But he did, however, win the Winston All-Star race last season, which unfortunately for him did not count for points. But still an awful lot of prestige when it comes to winning the Winston at Charlotte, as Matthews hopes to possibly get his third championship and maybe a third Daytona 500 if he can pull it off too. He may have one 500 win. I'm actually not sure on that too. But as we look at these pack of cards here, some of the other drivers that we have not yet mentioned. Well, here's one we haven't mentioned yet neither. Jake Emerson, the number 01 U.S. Army Jimmy John's Chevrolet this season, is another rookie in the series too. Here, one of 8 rookies in the field. He's driving this machine here. That's painted a lot like Joe Nemechek's car, but a little bit different here. So Emerson hoping to do well in his rookie season this season too. Of course, the Rookie of the Year goes to I should say going for a shot of Rookie of the Year in the Castrol GTX Cup Series this season. So we're looking through all the cards, see who we haven't talked about yet here. Well, here's another one we haven't talked about yet. And this is the teammate to Johnny Gardner, driving kind of the K&N Series look-alike right here. This is Rob Evans driving the number 19 Ineos Motor Oil Napa Power Plus Chevrolet. And he's also got the Derek Kraus car number 19. So here Evans looking to make some noise in this series as well too. Here as he trying to you know what I'm talking about here. But anyway, Rob Evans, teammate to Johnny Gardner, and Gardner, of course, now finally getting to assemble his dream team of cars and drivers this season. There, he's got 3 Chevrolets there with him, Evans, and Phil Parker, and Quentin Moore this season driving a Ford. Kind of an oddball deal, but it works too, obviously, for that team here. So some of the drivers we haven't talked about as we look at this pack of cards, led by Tyler Deaver, the number 24 machine, and you got Phil Parker going underneath. Zachary Fitzwater will be driving the number 59 Dodge this season on his machine, and I'm not sure what sponsor he's going to have yet. Mason Wood is a rookie in the series too, as well too. He's the 8th rookie in the Castrol GTX Cup Series. He's driving number 52. He'll be driving number 52 G Fuel Dodge this season too. And rounding out the field, it will be Kat Batson driving car number 70 this season. And no, the scheme is not a Johanna Long lookalike neither. Keith Batson himself is painting that scheme, and not sure what sponsor she's going to have on her machine too. And you can bet if it's a Batson, it's a Ford. So that's pretty much how it's all going to look out here. Now, as far as the schedule this season, as we looked at this pack of cards here involving Angel Navarro, Charles Sanford, and the 4-car of William Brock, as always, the season will start off in the Daytona 500. Now, the first half of the season will look like how it usually does, except with a few changes. We'll start off at Daytona, obviously, with the Gatorade Twin 125s and the Daytona 500. And then we go over to Rockingham this season for the GM Goodwrench 400. Third race of the season will be at Richmond. The fourth race of the season, however, will be at Homestead this season. Will be for the Ford EcoBoost 400. And race number 5 this season will be at Nashville Superspeedway for the Opryland 320. That will be the 5th race of the season. So Atlanta and Darlington will only be cut to one race. I'm almost thinking about maybe adding a second Atlanta event in there, possibly two there, to kind of keep the narrative as far as the season is concerned. But that decision is still up for grabs. As you see him go 3 wide now, Sanford goes to the bottom with Brock and Navarro up on the high side right here as they come off turn number 4. Sanford, by the way, is now 29th quick in this session here. Brock is 9th, and Navarro is 20th quick, as you see. Saw Kay Anderson sit on pit road. There's Cole Baker. Matt McIntyre will try to find a good pack of cards. There's a good pack of cards right here in this pack that Ty Dent leads there, along with Mitchell Cohen's, Taylor Gertis, Jessica Shelton, and several others. But anyway, after Nashville, by the way, will be at Texas Motor Speedway for the running of the Interstate Barriers 500, and after Texas will be the customary 3 straight on a short track. Bristol, which will still have 2 races this season, the Food City 500, and of course, then after that will be at North Wilkesboro for the First Union 400, another track that will have 2 races this season. Daytona and Talladega will also have 2 races, obviously, too. Then Martinsville, the only visit to Martinsville this season will be after North Wilkesboro. Then after Martinsville will be at Talladega for the Winston 500, and after Talladega will be at California. Then the first road race of the season at Sonoma for the for the Fram Autolite 300. Then after Sonoma will be at the Winston at Charlotte, and then after that we'll be returning to Charlotte for the Coca-Cola 600. And then after Charlotte will be Dover, then after Dover will be Riverside, then after Riverside will be Pocono. And so you thought, well, and you said, well, quals. You said major schedule changes. It sounds like the same schedule to me. Not so fast, because we're not in the second half of the season yet. Now here comes where the second half of the season is going to be so different. After Pocono, of course, Pocono will be the usual stop at Michigan, obviously. Then after Michigan, we'll be going to different racetracks here. Now this is where we'll explain another concept that's going to be happening this season too. It'll be dual races. Now by that what I mean, if you some of you are probably asking if you say dual races, do you mean twin races? That's exactly what I mean. Much like the Gatorade Twin 125s at Daytona, except in this case we'll be running for points. The reason why, because the tracks I picked out do not hold 40 cars, and so the most logical explanation to keep from having DNQs is to obviously split the field in half and let them run the twin races. And I know it does not sound fair to some. I know you said you got to have DNQs if you're not gonna run the whole field, shorten the field, or deal with DNQs. I can't help it. This is gonna be This is gonna be the thing. This is gonna be a thing. I know it's gonna work. Yes, you're gonna have two. Yes, you're gonna have 2 winners in those dual races. Yes, for points, but that way. But the equalizer is everybody gets to have a start. So here's the second half of the schedule. Michigan is you got Michigan after Pocono. Then after Michigan, we go to Santa Ana Raceway in Montreal, just outside of Montreal. Yes, a Canadian race for the Molson Canadian 300 dual 300s. Then after Santa Ana, we'll be going to Pepsi. We're going to Daytona. We're going back here to Daytona for the Pepsi 400 at Daytona. Then after Daytona, we go to Milwaukee Speedway for the Die Hard 250. That's not going to be the race. It's a single stand race. Then after Milwaukee, we go into another flat 1 miler at New Hampshire National Speedway. Then after New Hampshire will be the Kentucky Twin Duels from Louisville Motor Speedway, a little 4/10 mile short track. So Martinsville's going to be no longer the shortest of the tracks here this season. Then after we go to Louisville, it'll be another twin. It'll be another another standalone short track race. It'll be at Colorado Motor Speedway, for the Mopar Parts Mile High 300. And after Colorado, we'll be going to Indianapolis, 2 straight races. If you're saying one of them better be, if you're saying both of them better not be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, relax. They will not both. One will be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, yes, for the Brickyard 400, but that's going to be the race after the first Indy, and that will be at the Kroger 300 at IRP. Yes, the Indy short track this season. I know some of you say, why not run the road course? Well, the road course, again, does not hold 40 cars. Well, why don't you do a dual race at the road course? Well, it's just a decision I just make, guys. So don't shoot the messenger. Next up, after the Kroger 300 will be the Brickyard 400, and after the Brickyard 400 will be at Watkins Glen this season. In fact, we will have 2 straight races on a road course, by the way. Watkins Glen for the Budweiser at the Glen, and after that will be the Lime Rock Twin Duels at Lime Rock Raceway Park. Yep, dual races at Lime Rock Speedway. The little 1.53 mile short track. Then after that race happens will be the Busch 500 at Bristol, the night race. After that, the Southern 500 at Darlington, and then this one's not quite final yet, though, but we'll have the Japanese Twin Duels from the long course of Suzuka Raceway. Yes, we'll be running on that Japanese track. After Suzuka will be the second race at Talladega, the Die Hard 500, and after that, we'll be at Langhorne Speedway in Langhorne, Pennsylvania, the circular short track. After Langhorne, we'll be going to Charlotte, going back to Charlotte for the Mellow Yellow 500. So we'll have 2 races at Charlotte as well, too. After that, the Tyson Holly Farms 400 at North Wilkesboro. Then after that, the Subway 500 at Phoenix, and then the finale at Atlanta Motor Speedway, the Napa Know-How 500. But now the schedule's not yet final yet, because I have had thoughts of also doing a second Atlanta race too. So that's going to be, like I said, that decision is still up for grabs as well too. So that's my schedule for the season 2. I know we had I know I kind of bored you to death with what all we had this season and what have you, but there's the cars on the track right now too. That's Quentin Moore, Nicky Martinez, and Seth Cole. Or not Seth Cole, but the 24 car of Tyler Deaver. Excuse me on that one. But that's what's coming up for this season in this Castrol GTX Cup Series for season 27, and gonna be an interesting year. I will about guarantee you that it's gonna be an interesting year too. Right now, Trent Dunham is the fastest. So as the practice session winds down, I know we got 20 minutes left there, but I'm not going to do the whole practice session. Trent Dunham is the fastest car in practice right now, 200.513 miles an hour. Then it's Matt Haas in second position. Then Rob Evans, Matt McIntyre in the 14 car, Jesse Turner, Quentin Moore, Keith Batson, Zach Rogers, William Brock, and Nicky Martinez in the 10th position. Kyle Matthews right now currently is 30th in the practice session, as him and Seth Cole both sit by Levi McIntyre. Right now, Seth is 27th, McIntyre's 14th, Zach Nichols 18th right now. As we look at the cars there go down, gonna come to the start finish line. So I hope I didn't bore you guys with all my gibberish, but that's the way we're going to be doing the Castrol GTX Cup Series season for season 27 here. So for now, this is James Qualls. This has been a production of the NNSCRA. Offline racing at its best. Here, we will see you as the season as we come back here for the Gatorade Twin 125s.